morning, classmates. My name is Brittne, and today I have Darlene with me for our activation and integration video. So Darlene, just for a quick recap, last week and the week before, we have gone through your corrective exercise strategies to go through some assessments so that I could figure out what your underactive and probable overactive muscles were. Right. So if you can recall, we did that overhead squat assessment. We did the Davies test as well as the gait test. Now, from what we know about Darlene is she has arthritis in her toe, and she also has plantar fasciitis. So, in the other foot, right? So, what we know from that is we do certainly have some underactive and overactive muscles that we are working with. The most ones that we found for overactive, just for an overview, was the biceps femoris, so that's your hamstring, your TFL, which is on the outside of your leg, your adductor complex, and then your piriformis. So those are the muscles that are mostly overactive, all right? And then into your underactive muscles, the ones that we found the most were coming up were actually your glutes, so your bum, your seat, in a sense. So we have the medial gastrocnemius came up, so that's around your calf area. We got the glute med max, so those are the medius and the maximus of the gluteus. And then also what came up was the anterior and the posterior tibialis. So if you recall in the last video that we did some foam rolling techniques, so the SMR, right, the self-myofascial release, and then we also did some static stretching. So now, moving on through the corrective exercise continuum, what we're going to do is take the exercise that we did in the last video, so with that inhibitory technique, so when we were releasing the tension and decreasing the overactivity, as well as the lengthening techniques when we increase the extensibility, length, and range of motion. We're going to pair those with going into the exercises today with activation and integration. So what should happen now is with that whole continuum, we're going to see longer ranges of motions, we're going to see your body is reacting well together, and hopefully trying to correct things so that you work in a full kinetic range so that you have tensegrity in your body. Does that make sense?
Thank you.
Okay, great. So what I did, Darlene, was I created you a Physiotec routine. Now, this Physiotec routine that I have printed out is to be followed for 3 weeks. So I've got, just have it on my other piece of paper here, which I will give to you. I have the number of sets that you're going to perform the exercises. So we have them at 2 sets for the isolated program. Your repetitions are going to stay at 12 each, or 12 total. That's also indicated here. Now your load, we have mostly the load for the body weight, and we have set the load on the Bowflex machine to about 20 pounds, okay? And then for your rest, I recommend having a rest of 30 to 60 seconds in between so that you are able to recover before you go back in, all right? Your tempo for the isolated program, like we talked about, isometric, so you're going to hold it at the top for 2 seconds, and then your eccentric, that lengthening, is going to be 4 seconds. But I'll remind you when we get there, okay? So we have a total of 7 exercises for the isolated. And for the integration technique, Darlene, we have this, again, 3 days a week, just like the other one. So you can actually combine these together and make them into a full program. This time, 2 sets and 10 repetitions. So we've decreased the repetitions by 2, and there is 5 exercises that you'll do. We'll be utilizing the TRX as well as some body weight. Now this one's all about that slow control movement, okay? And the best thing about the integrated is that we are trying to kind of mimic the outside world so that you are completing these motions in full range of motion. They're also offsetting your balance a little bit, and there's always progression that we can do. Any questions?
Nope, thank you.
All right, great. So we're going to move right into it here. For the sake of the video, we do have 12 exercises, so we'll be showing 2 repetitions. I'll be setting Darlene up, and then she'll go into them. We mostly focused, again, on the glutes, the hamstrings, as well as the tibialis and the gastrocnemius. So getting started, Darlene, we're going to go into our calf raise. Good. So you're popping up. Now I want you to bring your midfoot in line with the step here. So step this left leg back a little bit. Great. Now bend through your right knee, making sure shoulders are stacked on top of the hips, pulling your belly button in, slight retraction of the shoulder blades. Now drop this left heel all the way down, and then you're going to pop it back up. Good. Now let's go a little slower. So down, 2, 3, 4, up, hold. Awesome. One more. Down, 2, 3, 4, up and hold. How's that feel? Good. Great. So let's just do it on the other side. We'll do 2 on the other side. So the other side we know has arthritis in the toes, so we're going to be a little bit more gentle towards the fact of lifting up. So going low, 2, 3, 4, up. Great. One more. Inhale on the way down. Exhale on the way up. Awesome. How'd that feel?
Good.
Great. So that was your first exercise. That's your calf raise. Now we're going to move into our elastic ankle flexion. So here you have the elastic. Sorry, I don't have any shoes on. What you're going to do is put your foot into that elastic. Now you have this other band. Pull it in. Make sure that you're in a nice neutral spine. You're just going to point through that toe, and then I want you to flex and hold. So going down, 2, 3, 4, holding it. All right?
Thank you.
You're welcome. So again, lifting up, nice neutral spine. Try to bring your shoulders a little bit. Yeah, good. Now starting with that nice flex. Good. Now point through the toe, lower, and then flex, hold. 2 counts. Let's do it again. So you want to try to bring your toe as much as you can towards your shoulder blade without lifting or hyperextending your leg. Okay, so point through that foot. Good, and now flex and hold. How's that feel?
Good.
Let's do the other side to make sure we have some nice balance. Good, so lifting up and out of your back, awesome. And now, yeah, point. And flex. Good. Point. And flex. So after these 3 weeks, Darlene, what we can do is actually progress you to the bow flex, but we're going to start with this for now as you have that body weight resistance.
Okay.
Great. Okay, so now we're going to head right into our glute bridge. So for this one, I know you're familiar. You want to start with your feet about hip-width apart, laying down onto your back, hands pressing into the floor. Belly buttons pulled in, squeezing through your glutes. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed. You're going to lift up. I want you to hold it, 2 counts, and then slow recovery on the way down. Lifting up, hold, and slow on the way down. Can you see? Yeah, so maybe bring your, just a little bit more forward. Good. So feet are hip width apart, knees in line with the hips, knees stacked on top of the ankles, hands into the floor, push it heavy into the heel. Inhale in, exhale, lift up, squeeze, 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 really activating the glutes first, hamstring fire after, and then lower back down. Let's do it again, squeeze through your glutes first, and then lift up, and lower. How's that feel?
Good.
Let's do one more. Up, hold it, and lower. Good. So that's your glute bridge. Again, this is a progression movement that we could use eventually. You can add some dumbbells onto your hips when you're starting to feel like you're feeling your glutes first. How do you feel in that one?
Good.
Glutes are firing first? All
Gotcha.
right. So we're going to go into your hamstring curl. So this one is really going to help you activate your glutes, which is what we want to do, and it's also activating your hamstrings. So I'm just going to set the video up here. Nope. Close. There we go. So, Darlene, what you're going to do is lay down. I want you to press your heels into the foot cradle. So make sure that you have that flexion through your foot. It's much easier if you have shoes on, like you do, so that's perfect. So flexing through that foot, make sure that those straps are nice and even. Pushing down into your hands, pulling your core in. You're going to draw those heels in, hold it, and then recover back out. So really focusing on pulling that belly button in, trying to keep that back flat. Progression movement eventually we will be lifting up through your hips, okay? Good, so heels heavy into your foot cradles. These are always tricky to get in, but once you're in, you're in. Awesome. Now laying back down. Now you want to scoot your seat closer towards the wall. Good. Now, pull your knees in. Oops, am I still in there? Yeah, you're in there. And then bring it back out. Good. So what I'm actually going to do, Darlene, is we're just going to lift this up 1 inch for you. Different height ranges. All right. So I'll help you get in there. All right, good. Now pull it in. Looks a little bit better. And bring it out. How does that feel?
Good.
Awesome. So, in nice slow control movements, holding it for about 2 counts, and then bringing it back up. Let's do one more. Where are you feeling it? Glutes and hamstring?
Yes. I'm breathing. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Last one. Great. And again, like I mentioned, Darlene, you can get out of that one. with time, what we can do is allow you to lift your hips up, and that's just going to progress the motions, okay? All right, so we're moving along here. We are going directly into the hip extension with our cable. So we're using the Bowflex today. That is the equipment that Darlene has readily available in her gym. So Darlene, we're going to bring your foot in to the foot cradle. Now we have these little cables here for your balance. Hips are square, shoulders are square, core is pulled in tight. I just want you to push back. You're slightly hinging through your torso. Make sure hips are square again, core is tight, and you're going to bring it back in. So think about really lengthening, slow, slow, slow. Hold it, and then bring it back in, okay? So isolating through that right glute, right hamstring, every bit of that right lower part of extremities is working hard. Good, so starting with feet hip width apart, shoulders set down your back, core engaged, squeezing through your glutes. We'll push it back. Yeah, slight hinge, push back, 2, 3, 4, hold, and recover in. Good, let's do 2 more. So try to pull this right hip forward. Yeah, good. Belly button in, squeeze your glutes, pressing back, 2, 3, 4, and in. Let's do 1 more time. Inhaling, press it back on your exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, and in. How's that feel? Good. Good. All right. So normally we would progress to the other side, but for time's sake, we will move right in to your next exercise. Sound good? Mm-hmm. So we're going into the side plank with abduction. So setting up in front of the camera here, you're going to bring yourself down into the side plank. Now I want your elbow in a little bit of a 45-degree angle. Elbow directly underneath your shoulder. You're going to lift up through your hips. Right leg is straight. Left knee is bent. Shoulders and hips are square. You're going to lift up, hold, and slow recovery down. So think about having your leg in between a wall, holding it at the top for that 2 seconds. Okay? Yeah, that looks great. Hips are square, belly button's in. You can take this opposite hand onto your hip. You can just hold your hip. Yeah, good. Now lifting up. 2, 3, 4, hold. And slowly recover. Good. Let's do it again. Up. Hold. And lower. Great. So try flexing through your foot and see if you feel a little bit of difference there. So this is really targeting into that side of the glute. Yeah, so you want to also squeeze through your glutes. 1 more time. And lower. Great. So how'd that one feel? Good. Good. So what we can do in 3 weeks' time is, again, we can progress this motion so that you're actually coming into a straight leg variation. But for right now, we're really focusing on targeting those muscles that we want to target, staying on that bottom knee. Okay. So after, lots of exercise to do today. After that one, we're going into a reverse extension on the floor. So you're going to set up onto your abdominals, and I just want you to gently rest your head onto the palm of your hands. Now, pushing both toes into the floor, take a squeeze of your glutes. Try to pull your belly button up and off the ground. You're going to lift your legs up and hold it back, or reach it back down. So try to not tense up in your shoulders, just lifting up and lowering back down. Okay? So first, squeeze through the glutes, yeah. Belly button up towards the spine. Lift your legs up. Hold it. And lower. How's this feel? Any lower back tension?
Nope, I'm good.
All right. So sometimes also pushing into the floor kind of helps you. Yeah, that looks great. A little soft bend in the knee. Let's do 1 more time. Awesome, Darlene. That looks great. And lower. Good work. Okay. All right. So for that one, again, a progression movement that we'll eventually do is we'll try to lift your arms up into a little bit of a floor cobra. But for right now, just focusing on those muscles we want to be working. Moving into your rubber band squat with your tube. Now, we've actually done this one with a little bit of a resistance tube, okay? So what I want you to do is bring your legs into that resistance tube. You can actually set that tube above your knees, below your hips. I want you to start with your feet hip width apart, pushing down into the heels. We're actually just going to bring our hands into prayer for right now. You're going to push down, think about resisting onto that band. tibia and torso alignment, and then you're going to come up. So lowering down, holding it, pushing against that band, and then coming back up. Progression eventually, we're going to try to reach those arms up, overhead, mimicking that overhead squat assessment that we had done 2 weeks prior. Okay, feet. Good, yeah. Stand straight. Yeah, hands into prayer position. Good. Now squatting down, pushing down through those heels, stepping into those 10 toes. Yeah, so we're going to bring their tibia, so lift your chest up just slightly. Good. And then come back up. Awesome. So nice and slow. No, that's good. Down, 2, 3, 4. Holding, knee in line with midfoot. Slight pressure against that band. Good. And bring it back up. Now for this one, I really want you to concentrate on that glute engagement. So full extension at the top. Good. Now come down. Down, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. Pushing against that band. Pushing down into your toes and your heels. And up. How's that feel? Good. Good. So what I really think this one will do is help you to activate the glutes, get those glutes firing up first, as we know that those are very underactive, and then that will help your whole muscle firings work as one. Okay, cool? All right, so just a few more exercises to go. We are going into your knee elevation with your tube. So for this one, and I should mention that these next exercises, the squat, and the rest of the exercises coming up are into the integration part of our video. The first 7 exercises were up into the extension, were the isolated. So these ones are all about that slow and controlled movement. So this one, Darlene, you're going to lay down onto your side. You can bring your hand onto your hip. Your toes, I'm just going to scoop up. You can see me here?
I'm watching in the camera.
Perfect. So toes are going to stay together. You're going to open up through your knees, hold it, pull your core in, squeeze through your glutes, and then bring it back down. So these are the same motions, same counts. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay? You're tubed in. We got the Jane Fonda.
Okay, arm here.
So, yeah, and bring your knees just a little bit more forward. Good. So I want you to really isolate this top right glute. Pull your core in tight. Good. Shoulders relax. This hand movement wherever it's comfortable. I like it in front. And now just open up through that knee, keeping your toes together. Yeah. And then bringing it back down. So think 1, 2, 3, hold, and down. Slow, controlled movements, that integration motion. How's it feel?
Good.
Let's do one more. And down. Good. So you would obviously do repetitions for all of these motions, including that tube squat. We're at 10,
okay.
10 each time. Okay, so we're done with that one. It's hot in this room
it's very
here.
Hot here.
Good, more glisten on.
Yep.
So now we are moving into your lunge with a dumbbell press. Now for this video, we know that Darlene has her arthritis in her toe. So we actually took out the crossover because that put a lot of pressure onto her arthritis in her toe, and we actually just made it a parallel squat. So
I can try both.
we'll just do the parallel. Okay, so feet are on railroad tracks. Think about pressing down through your heels, spreading your toes wide, shoulders set down your back. Now I just want you to step your right leg back into a lunge, making sure that that front left knee stays in line with your midfoot. Lunge down. Good. You're going to reach your arms up as you lunge down, and then you're going to come back up. Now reverse. Feet are hip width apart. Good. Opposite leg. You're going to lunge down, reach those arms up, shoulders down away from your ears, and then come up. Let's do 2 more on each side. So really making sure that you have even pressure into those feet. How's that feel?
Good.
And up. Last one. Making sure you're not compensating. Good.
A little shaky there.
And up. Awesome. So you got the movements down. Just we want to focus as we move into that. So you'd be doing 10 per side, right? So 20 total. Really focusing on keeping heavy through the heel, slightly light in the toe, making sure that you're always stepping back into that neutral feet hip width apart position.
Do you want me to do that side one with just the one leg, or no? Good.
No, I think we'll stay away from the crossover just because of your toe. But the next one is actually that lateral lunge to the deadlift. So this one we're going to progress to 10 pounds.
Okay.
So you're going to go a little bit heavier in your weights. Now we practice this one. We're going to bring our left leg out towards the side, okay? So into a lateral lunge. Good. Making sure knee lines up with midfoot. So you're bending through that.
Come this way a bit, sorry.
Yeah, so you're bending through that left knee. Knee is in line with the toe. So see how your knee's kind of moving out? You want your toe to be in line. Good.
Okay.
Push your hips back. Squeeze through your glutes and bring your dumbbells, one on either side. Good. Shoulders relax. Then come up. Feet are hip width apart. Deadlift. So palms are going to face towards your shin bones. Lead with the hips. Press your hips back. Going to where you feel the hamstring activate. And then coming back up. Squeeze full extension top. Now let's do the same leg. We're going to do 10 per side, but not on the video. We'll just do 3 per side. Good. Coming up. Feet hip width apart.
Oops, sorry.
That's okay. No worries. Shoulders set. And deadlift. Slow, steady control. And up. Let's move into the other side. So opposite foot is stepping into your lunge.
Okay.
Good. Heavy inhale. Yeah, pushing your hips back. Shoulders relaxed. Come up. Deadlift, leading with your hips. Going to where you feel your hamstrings, your glutes activate, softening through the knees, no locking. And bring it back up. One more time. Shoulders stacked on top of the hips. Big, big step out. How's your toe? Good. Bringing it back in. Feet hip width apart, palms face in, and deadlift. Awesome. How'd those feel?
Really good.
Great. So with time, we're always going to keep that nice and progression movement of keeping, obviously, our tempo, right? So always keeping it nice and controlled. We can always progress it by a little bit heavier weights, but that will come within the 3 weeks. So we're going to move into our TRX stuff. So 2 more exercises to go here, everybody watching. So we are going into a squat to an upright row. So I might just grab, actually, we need a GoPro. All right. Oh, sorry about that, people. Great. Okay, so squat to an upright row. We're going to grab onto your TRX straps. We'll get this going eventually. Your palms are facing down. Heavy through the heel, light into the toe. Keep a nice squeeze through your glutes. Shoulder blades down, belly button in. You're going to squat, making sure that your knees line up with mid-toe. Eyes up towards that anchor. Coming up, you're going to pull your elbows up in line with your shoulders. Bring it back down. Resetting after every single repetition, okay? So I don't want to see is any rounding or over tucking. Keep that tibia torso alignment. Lift up, elbows up. Good, so feet are into squat position, shoulder blades down your back. Squat first, nice straight arms. Nice. Lifting up, keeping that angle first, now pull it in. So try not to rush through your motions. So you're going to go squat first, down, all the way straight first. Arms are still straight, come up. Nope.
Oh, sorry.
One more time?
Yes, sorry.
Oh, no worries. So 2 different motions set into one. Squat, straighten, lift,
And
lower. Squat, lift, arms still straight. Now, elbows and in. Okay? 2 separate motions. So feet hip, yeah. Squat, lift. Arms straight, bend, and in. So you want to actually pull your whole body in towards the row, okay? So squat, lift, straighten, slight hinge. Now, elbows pull. Okay, so one last time, I'll just show you here, no worries. My feet are in a little bit, right? So you have that angle.
Okay.
Squat, lift, slight angled, right? Body like a
Yes.
surfboard.
Okay, now straight.
Elbow and in. So right now you're kind of leading with your bum
straight.
back. No
Okay.
worries.
Okay, so there we go. That's
Arms
it.
straight. Squat. Up. Elbows. There you go. Now try to keep your elbows into that 90-degree bend when you come in. So straighten your arms. Squat. Up. Elbows in line with your shoulders on the way up. Elbows in line with your shoulders. Palms facing down. Nice 90-degree bend. Palms facing down. Lifting up a little bit. And straighten. One more time. Squat. Lift, elbows in line with your shoulders. There you go. Okay, good. How's that feel?
Good.
A little
Sorry
bit
for the
challenging?
delay there.
No, there's no worries. These things are tricky. TRX is not easy to get. Cool?
Yep.
So you're going to do 10 of those. Now last exercise is your powered pull-up. So you're going to start with your thumbs just behind your hips. Nice straight arms. From here, you're going to reach back so your palms face in. You're in squat set position. Shoulders down, belly button in, squeezing through your glutes. Leading with your elbows, working the upper body. You're going to pull in, straighten. Arms go straight. You're going to reach it back, palms face in. Shoulders set. Always taking time to reset your motions after completing them. So starting with your thumbs right beside your hips. Good. Yeah, okay, so now you're going to reach back. Palms face in. Yeah, looking up towards your anchor, pulling your core in. Bum should be up. Now lead with your elbows. Elbows. Pull to your sides. Yes, all the way straight. Good. So what that means is maybe walk your feet a little bit back. That's going to give you a little bit more leverage there. All right, let's go again. Straighten those arms. Palms face in. Shoulder blades down your back. Now lead with your elbows. Elbows. Pull, pull, pull. Yes, good. Awesome. Let's do one more. That looks great. Shoulders down and elbows. Good. Awesome, Darlene. How'd that feel? Good. All right, so we just went through our full... Oh, we forgot. Nope, we're good. We just went through all of our exercises here. Thanks for watching. So, thanks, Darlene. So just for a little recap, we did the activation integration video. Sorry it was so long. Quite a few exercises in here. Thank you so much for watching. Looking forward to hearing your feedback, and this is your 3-week program.
Thank you.
Thank you.